Hello, Daniel. So I'm going to rant to my camera about some of the stressful things that have been happening to me with regards to registering for classes for next semester. Because talking to a camera is easier than going and actually talking to real people, and it's also probably healthier than just letting the stress fester inside of me until I just give up and go to bed. What ended up happening is that I got a fairly bad time for registration. When I went to sign up for my classes yesterday, the Spanish class I was trying to get into was filled. They've reserved X number, I think a little over half of the seats for incoming freshmen, otherwise freshmen would never get into Spanish classes. So there are technically like 8 other spots left in the class, but I can't really sign up for it until August, if ever. I want to take Spanish. I want to continue being able to, speak Spanish, because when you stop speaking Spanish for a long period of time, even over the summer, you stop being able to function as well in the language. And I really like being able to speak Spanish. It makes me feel smart. It's also useful and, widens a global perspective and all that important stuff. But it makes me feel smart. The other hiccup I had was with my geology class that I want to take. It's taught by Professor Bob Carson. Now, Bob Carson is kind of a big deal. He was the one who made the geology department at Whitman. He is a big deal, and he's retiring at the end of next year. So, geomorphology with the legend Bob Carson. Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm a geo major. This is important. So I built my entire schedule around this class, and I go on my registration time to click on it to add it, and it says, Geo majors only, you do not meet the requirements. What has happened is that I have not officially declared with the little sheet of paper that you sign into the office that I'm a geo major. I decided last week that I was going to declare by the end of the year, because I've been pretty certain of what I was going to do since I was 6, everybody be jealous. But without that piece of paper on record, the website would not let me sign up. Last night at 8 o'clock, I'm emailing the professor and saying, hey, I'm going to be a geo major, I just don't have the piece of paper, and can you let me join, please? And since it's 8 o'clock, he didn't actually respond, because professors are, sane, normal people and not college students. So I'm all stressed out last night, and I'm freaking out, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to wait until August to actually sign up for any of my classes. Hi.
If anyone asks, I was never here.
What's up?
Playing sardines.
I completely forgot that a study break thing was happening, and they're playing sardines. Anyway, where was I? The professor granted me consent anyway because the class didn't fill up completely. So I got into the geo class, but that is where my actual stress started. The class is set up is that 3 days a week in the morning there is a class for geomorphology that meets an hour, I think, at 11, 3 days a week. And then on Tuesday afternoon, there is a lab period. And most lab periods, sensible ones, go from 1 to 3:50. The block from 4 to 7 is then when the activity classes happen, like orchestra or rock climbing. The issue with geomorphology is that the lab goes from 1 to 7. It also happens that the lab is on the same day as one of the orchestra classes that meets 2 times a week. Now, this is probably to accommodate some of his famously long field trips, and I'm hoping it'll be able to work out because if it's field trips, then we won't be doing it every single week, and a lot of times I'll be able to go to orchestra. This is kind of stressing me out because I've taken orchestra to some capacity for the past 9 years. And a lot like Spanish, I don't want to stop playing the cello. And I can still take personal lessons, but it's a lot more satisfying for me, at least, to play in a larger group of people. I can talk to people about this, I can talk to the orchestra director, I can talk to Bob Carson, but it's more discussion, and it's probably going to have to happen next fall, and I just want everything to be done. I feel like at this juncture I should make some sort of point about finality and living in the moment and not being too obsessed with planning for the future. But right now all I can think is, and yes, you can quote me on that. On the bright side, since my geology professor is going on the regional geology field trip, and my only classes tomorrow are geology related, I have no classes tomorrow! So that should help me get over some of the stress that's, being stressful. Also sleep. Sleep helps too. I'm gonna do the sleep thing. Sardines is invading the room again. Good night.
Hi there again. It's me. Okay, bye.
Bye.